In March 2009, 16 of us went on a mission trip to Liberia.
Liberia is a country on the west coast of Africa that up until about 2003 had experienced 14 years of civil war that completely devastated the country.
One of the things that struck me so much was the absence of infrastructure. So shocking to see what war does to a country.
It left them without utilities, without power, water, sewage.
There are some paved roads, but mostly not. There's no postal system. I looked up the beach and it was just trash all up and down the beach, and it just broke my heart.
In the midst of this devastation that you see from the years of war, it's just amazing to see the people who have joy and such hope for the future.
They are resourceful, they are warm, they are hospitable.
I count the people that I've met there as some of the dearest people that I know.
These are great people who are doing a lot of good work amidst very difficult circumstances.
One of the indigenous Christian ministries there, African Christians Fellowship International, set up 2 children's homes to take care of some of the children that were left out in the wake of the Civil War.
Daniel Hoover Children's Village was built in 2002. There are 7 dormitories, roughly somewhere between 20 and 60 children reside in each of the dormitories. There's a school facility, cafeteria, and some offices. It all sits on about 6 acres of land on a rise out in the middle of the country.
My first impressions of the Daniel Hoover Children's Village was just overwhelming. I had seen the depth of poverty in Liberia, but driving in and getting out of the cars and just being swarmed with children was really overwhelming, and just really spoke to how much attention these children need.
It's just when I got out, I'm talking 50, 60, 70 kids just running toward me, just trying to touch me, just trying to grab my leg, trying to ask for my name, saying, "Remember my name."
Some of the children have lost a parent or both parents in the war. Some of them are just in a situation where the parents literally cannot put food on the table and feed them. So they've released them to be taken care of at this mission.
The children are remarkable. They're courageous, they're loving.
I mean, the situation was as bad as I could see, but the kids were just so happy, so much love.
I think all of us who went on the trip made connections to specific individual children.
For the first day, I met a girl named Comfort.
She was probably 4 or 5 and her name was Princess.
There was a boy named Francis, for example, that I got a chance to get to know.
One of the things that I really enjoyed the most was being able to interact with the children who are being adopted.
The next day, I came back and I saw her and I said to her, "Hey, Comfort, how are you? It's good to see you today."
She was just this sweet little girl. She didn't barely say a word.
I talked to him at the end of the week and I said, "You are a leader."
I don't think I've ever seen anyone light up the way she did when I remembered her name.
And to be able to go and take photos of the children and to hold them and to tell them your mom and your dad love you, they pray for you every day, they can't wait until you come home. And to see the children and their smiles and them just clutching the pictures in their hand of their family was an amazing blessing.
He was an amazing kid, fun to be around, athletic, handsome, and he really disabused me of some of the notions that I carried in about who orphans are.
And God spoke to me. I felt like He was saying, you know, Dan, so often you are trying to change the world or come up with big programs or solve all the issues, and sometimes all I need you to do is remember someone's name.
The challenge that ACFI faces is that their congregations are just not capable of taking care of all of the needs. They struggle just to provide enough food for the children, and being able to pay the caretakers, the teachers, and supply everything beyond food is just not possible.
It was so great for us to bring 32 suitcases full of supplies that they need, like toothbrushes and toothpaste and school materials, clothes for them, and toys. The day after, we gave them these balls that strapped to their wrist. They were just everywhere throwing these balls, and it was just like glee all over.
The work of our team was very broad. We engaged in medical ministry, we engaged in education and vacation Bible school type format for the children.
And while we were there, the kids were just so receptive. They loved hearing the stories. And then after that, we'd go do a little game with them.
The village requires a lot of upkeep, and so we spent some time doing some construction work to repair some items. We did some painting, we built a wall to create enhanced clinic space. There's a lot that needs to be done, and we were able to tackle a fraction of those things with this particular trip.
It's important to realize that the work we do is not going one time and provide a lot of handouts.
We wanted to be able to provide training and some funding for micro businesses, for some agriculture.
We want to empower and enable our friends at ACFI to become sustainable.
There is so much need. It's really almost infinite.
Throw a dart at a map and the needs are great everywhere on the planet.
But in this situation, there are so many things that one person can do. You know, whether it's through something like adoption or sponsorship or going on a missions trip or praying or sending supplies. There are so many different ways to get involved, and we have seen firsthand that it makes a difference.
There are no easy answers for Africa and Liberia. It is going to be people that are committed to bringing the gospel, to being the hands and feet of Christ and bringing help and aid. It's going to be more than short-term missions trips. It's going to be communities banding together and saying, we are not going to stand to see our brothers and sisters live like this. We are going to do what we can to help them build back the country that they lost for more.